Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Mic. And joining me here today is Timur Davis, better known as the Black Librarian. Now, this morning, instead of me just talking, we had Jaja Shakur, and we talked about the future of hip hop, and we talked about what hip hop really means, right? And instead of me doing all the talking, let me ask Mr. Davis what he thought about the Jaja Shakur interview first. Lay it on us, brother. What
Well,
did you
Jaja
think?
Shakur laid it out succinctly in terms of what hip hop is and was and should be for future endeavors. Hip hop, in view of Jaja Shakur, should be something that should be imbued with the culture. Hip hop is not just a phenomenon that's from an entertainment money making perspective, although that's a part of it. Hip hop is something that should be a way of life. Hip hop should be something that fosters all the elements of culture, whether it's economics, whether it's politics, whether it's dance, music, entertainment, arts. Hip hop includes everything and everybody's a part of it. So you see hip hop from a galvanized perspective, whereby it everybody is a part of that phenomenon, part of the history, part of the historiography, and it's a part of moving the world forward collectively. And hip hop is everywhere, all over the world at this point now, from
Right. And
graffiti to music to entertainment to comedy to rap. So hip hop is a part of everything.
right. And my apologies. I just wanted to interject in there that what he said that, hip hop is the culture, rap is the music. And so Jaja eloquently put it well, and he looked at the future of hip hop and rap. But he said young people have to get involved, and we need to do something that acknowledges the capitalistic society that we all live in, so that we can galvanize together a way to make money, but also continue to uh, to feed the culture in a positive way. But when I asked him about the fusion, and if there was even a fusion between comedy and hip hop, and his answer was yes. And I'm going to use that as a transition because today we had former talent coordinator for Russell Simmons, Mr. Bob Sumner, who ironically graduated from Seton Hall University, right, and worked at this radio station, but now has become a successful individual in the community, but also more importantly, for topic's sake, um, a leader in the industry of comedy, black comedy in America. What was your take? What did you think? Talk to me.
I think in listening to Mr. Bob Sumner, one of the things that I found that was interesting, and in piecing his comments and stuff together, um, for one, yes, hip hop and comedy is interjoined together. In listening to his experience as a young lad of how his father um, was a barber, and his and he wanted to find ways to maintain his son while he was in the barber shop, and he created a little play area, and he his son received a lot of information from a lot of the comedians that came into the store during that time. And then fast forward, he was able to eventually come to this university, noted Seton Hall University, and eventually end up working in the broadcasting department, or becoming in getting involved with communications, despite him at one point wanting to be an educator. But I would say that Mr. Bob Sumner, um, although he may not have worked in public schools, but what he have done for hip hop, what he have done for comedy, what he have done for entertainment, for black folks, and not just black folks, for people in general, he social engineered. He was able to socially engineer hip hop, infuse hip hop, and in comedy as one. For one being one of the managers and directors with Mr. Russell Simmons developing Def Comedy Jam. And so you would see on Def Comedy Jam how intertwined hip hop music and hip hop culture and hip hop dress and hip hop fashion uh, uh, was intertwined with entertainment and in general. Um,
Okay, so I need to let you off the hook, because you are expertise, and I realized that this was the first time you meeting Bob
that is
Sumner,
correct.
right? And we, ladies and gentlemen, we just got off the air, and so we still processing such a dynamic show
Yeah,
that took place, and
definitely.
that's why this is called Behind the Mic. All right, because we trying to, instead of wait an hour or later or a day later, we're still analyzing what took place.
I'm still processing.
Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that Jaja Shakur talked about was when we talk about the degradation that black people have had to encounter here in America, and then we talk about the culture and hip hop and comedy played a Fred Sanford, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, right? The court jester in the kingdom with the king, right? And so comedy is something that always has been there, but it's also been able to ease the pain of reality for the general population, while it easing the pain, also delivering a message to society, right? And so when you find a great comedian, as I've heard Bob say, one that is able to tell a story and not just a joke, then you have found, ladies and gentlemen, a comedian. Now, Bob may not have said all of that in this interview today, but I love that brother and Jaja Shakur and the Black Librarian. And with that being said, I'm gonna let the Black Librarian have the last words before I say peace.
Um, it was a heartfelt surprise interview that we had today. The interview with Bob Sumner gave me a plethora of confidence in terms of ideas and how to move forward and how to strategically align myself. When we were talking in the interview, to say, "Well, you're working on running, okay? Contact Pastor Poe." So I haven't met him, but he's still throwing me a line. He's still throwing me a line, and so that's something that most elders uh, in traditional societies would do. When they see potential, they give a path, they give a word, they give a shape, they give a look, they give a gesture to encourage you. And that's what Mr. Bob Sumner had done. By the very fact that he acknowledged me and we was able to peacefully engage and share ideas and the level of respect that he had for me and the respect that you showed him that you had for me in terms of being a part of the show and being part of the tradition of allowing people of African orientation to be to be groomed from Seton Hall University was just dynamic in of itself.
Okay. And that, my friends, will be the last word for now. But until next time, you've listened and been a part of and experienced what we call Behind the Mic.
Behind
Mike.
the
Mike.
it is the mic.